In 1933, Plymouth captured one-third of the U.S. new car market. 1934 would see even higher sales. Our story is with Bill's 1934 Plymouth Coupe.
My father found the car in Windsor, actually. And why we bought it together is because I had another one identical to it, but in a convertible series. And we thought it would make a nice pair. Well, after getting the convertible home, discovered that it was a little bit beyond my abilities to fix. So we just kept the coupe and kept the coupe for quite a while in its original state as we found it, and decided one day to have it restored. And that's the story. It is today restored.
As with all classics, there's quite a story here from a long ago former owner who told a strange tale.
Well, where did you get it, sir? Well, he says, I work in a scrap iron yard, and I found it under some barn tin in the scrap iron yard. So I started thinking about this under barn tin, and what they did this during the war is they would go to the scrap yards, and you had no choice in the matter. If you were a scrap iron owner, you had to give them so much scrap iron. So what they did was hide this one because it was in such good shape. They hid it under the barn tin so it wouldn't be scrapped for the war effort. That's quite a story.
It's stories I like the most. How long has Bill owned this car?
I've got the original bill of sale from 1961. We found it in Windsor on Walker Road, actually.
After all these years, this Plymouth still looks factory fresh. I wonder what's under the hood.
The original six-cylinder engine. It's been rebuilt, but it is the original motor.
And what about the transmission?
The transmission has been replaced by one from a 1934 Dodge. Same thing.
This is what you might call an early form of air conditioning. The windshield cranks out to let more air in. Many believe the Plymouth name came from the Plymouth Rock Landing, but that's not the case. It was actually named after a popular binder twine brand, Plymouth Binder Twine. As early Plymouths were purchased mainly by rural motorists, it made sense to copy a name that was well known. However, the ship hood ornament is thought to be the Mayflower. Chrysler never missed an advertising trick. Here's a look at the dash. And the comfortable seating in this car.
Takes a lot of maintenance to keep it running. As far as driving, it drives much better because I just recently put some decent tires on it, but very, very nicely. Runs down the road quite nicely at 45, 50 miles an hour.
That's the story of Bill's 1934 Plymouth. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for viewing. And I'll be back again with more stories as the winter rolls along.